There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good morning, everyone. This is Robert from Jobs180.com, and welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live. Now, today's session is done for and in coordination with Rizal Technological University. Before we proceed, I would like to invite everyone to join us in prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
Good morning once again, and thank you everyone for coming. Well, if I'm not mistaken, third time ko na yata nakasama ang RTU within the month or two, January, February. Third time ko na, so I'm very happy to be here again to be the host sa ating program today. Of course, this event would not have been possible if it were not for your school officials. With that, I would like to take this opportunity to show to you one of your officials' message to share the opening remarks and to introduce the person giving the opening remarks. He is Engineer Lorenzo Carangian, Dean of the College of Engineering, Architecture and Technology, Department Head of Engineering, and the COE Coordinator. So, uh, ladies and gentlemen, this is the message of Engineer Carangian.
Good morning, everyone. I warmly welcome you to this seminar on improving communication skills, developing a strong work ethic, new normal work environment. Thank you to Jobs 180 for always partnering with RTU in this type of activity. And I should like to thank also our COE Director for the opportunity to make a few opening remarks. 1 year into the pandemic has brought a lot of challenges in the world today. It has brought the world almost into a standstill. But this pandemic should not stop us from doing our jobs. Let us not be defeated by the problems it has caused. The COE department, led by our director, Engineer Dong Matias, is doing a great job. In spite of the pandemic, Engineer Matias and his coordinators were able to come up with these activities in order to equip you with the necessary skills needed after graduation. Today's seminar on improving communication skills is very relevant as this is the weakness of most engineering graduates. Improving communication skills help us to improve or maintain relationship with our supervisors and colleagues in the workforce. So with the 3 webinars that you have attended or participated, I'm sure you are now ready to join the labor force after graduation or after the board examination with so much confidence. In behalf of CAT, thanks Jobs 180 for your continued support for our students.
Thank you, sir. And as you mentioned, we feel the same way that we look forward that our audience will be joining the employment field, the employment world. So immediately after graduating board exam, we are expecting that they will be prepared. Hopefully, we've played our part, making sure that this is the case. Okay, so well, we want to get to know you better. I think dun sa mga third time na kami nakasama, you know the drill because I'm seeing a lot doing this already. Anyway, para dun sa hindi sure kung ano i-comment, please comment your name, course, and the year of your graduation. Okay, so please use the same comment box for the Q&A and let's move on. So I will want to show the topics, although it was briefly mentioned earlier during the opening remarks. The topics are improving communication skills. We have someone from Inspiro Relaya. Developing a strong work ethic. We will have someone from VXI Global Holdings. A new normal work environment. We will have 2 representatives, one from Sykes Asia, one from ADP Philippines. So dun sa ating first 2 topics, yung usual procedure of having a speaker and then shortly after a Q&A. Dun sa new normal work environment na part, we will have a sort of panel discussion. 2 of the representatives will be at the screen at the same time and I will be facilitating our conversation. So hindi siya presentation. Although, keep in mind, while we are speaking to each other and I'm facilitating the conversation, you are still encouraged to type in your comments para ma-address natin during the panel discussion. Okay, so moving on to our first topic, which is, as mentioned earlier, improving communication skills. To introduce our speaker, Leia graduated from University of Caloocan City with a degree of Bachelor of Arts in English, major in broadcast journalism, and finished her certificate in professional education. She's taking up Masters of Arts in Education, major in educational management in the same university. She believes that she can make a change by training and helping people on how to improve their communication skills. For that reason, she decided to become part of Achieve Academy of Inspiro. Let's welcome the Trainer Achieve Academy for Inspiro, Miss Leia Dacumas. Good morning, Miss Leia.
Oh, hi. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, ma'am. If I'm not mistaken, first time natin na makasama. Ako as a host, ikaw as a speaker, and I'm looking forward to your talk. So I was giving your introduction and then talagang mukhang forte niyo tong communication skills.
Oh, thank you for that.
Let's test na po ang inyong screen, ang screen share. While Miss Leia is testing the screen share, again, announce ko dun sa mga bagong dating, we are once again requesting that you comment your name, course, and the year of your graduation. So thank you dun sa mga nauna. I see that you've been doing this for the past few minutes. Okay, Miss Leia, I could see your presentation and then your video, audio, they're fine. So I will be leaving, heading backstage, and we'll be back for the Q&A. Thank you. We can start now.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Robert. And hi. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you guys are doing well. So, again, my name is Leah, and I am one of the trainers of Achieve Academy of Inspiro. So, I am here because I was asked by Rizal Technological University and Jobs 180 to talk about a certain topic. And in line with that, on behalf of Inspiro and Achieve Academy, we would like to express our deepest gratitude for this opportunity. So, to all of the organizers of this event, thank you so much. And we are looking forward to more of this. So, perhaps, or now perhaps you are thinking, what is Inspiro? What is Achieve Academy? What do you mean? What are you talking about? So, without further ado, let me introduce to you Inspiro. So, Inspiro is the outsourcing specialist or an outsourcing specialist with a network of 30,000 customer champions across 35 strategic locations. We are obsessed with success and we've spent 18 years of helping our customers optimize processes, exceed metrics, and surpass overall customer satisfaction. As what you can see on your slide, we have our head office located in Makati City, Philippines. So we are actually offering multi-language, omni-channel solutions covering the full customer engagement life cycle. And we have 12,000 employees across North America, Latin America, Australia, and of course, here in the Philippines. And I would like to introduce to you our parent company, which is Relaya. Now, Relaya is located in Tokyo, Japan. And Relaya is the provider of contact center, field operations, and also web marketing services. Now, Relaya has 20,000 employees across Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, and even China. Now, I would like to share to you our global footprint. And yes, just like what I have mentioned earlier, we have sites in United States, in Nicaragua, in Japan, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Australia, and again, the Philippines, or here in the Philippines. And moving forward, Inspiro created a team who are more than willing to help their near hire and new hire employees, which is Achieve Academy. So, what is Achieve Academy? Technically, Achieve Academy is a branch of human resource under the Leadership and Development Group, wherein our primary objective is to train new hire employees and near hire employees in the field of language and communication. So, some of our topics is about, of course, communication, tone and intonation, and also speaking basics, and a lot more. So, if you are interested, I want you to know that you are more than welcome to Achieve Academy. And since I mentioned earlier that I will talk about a certain topic, here it is: service. Now, have you ever come to think that in any type of industry, whether if it is in the medical field, in the government setup, in a BPO, in agriculture, in trade, or even in food industry, we provide service? Yes, we do. But do we really know what service means? Hmm. Is it giving them um, their needs? Is it about meeting the expectations of our customers? Or is it about exceeding their expectations? Is it about assisting them? Is it about helping them? Is that what service is? Okay, now I will share to you the meaning of the service, or the meaning of the service that we are actually using in Inspiro. And for us, service, according to Ron Kaufman, is the taking action to create value for someone else. Again, service is taking action to create value for someone else. Huh? What does that mean? Okay, now let me just ask you a question. Do you agree that service requires us to do something for someone? Again, do you agree that service requires us to do something for someone? Type yes or no in our chat box or in our comment section. Go. I want to see your answers. Is it something that requires us to do something for someone else? Yes or no? All right. And thank you so much for that. And actually, yes, because a service is a taking action, meaning do something. Service is doing something. Whether if it's answering one's question, whether it's about, or whether if it's about helping customers or helping the customers, whether if it's about delivering a parcel or a package, whether if it's about teaching someone how to do something, it's still service. It's still taking action. Now, what something do we do for someone? Is it something that they need? Is it something that they want? Is it something that they deserve or they expect? But I think more than that, it is something that is important to them, something that they value. So if you are going to do something to someone, it is because it matters to them. It is because they value it. That's what service is: taking action to create value for someone else. So maybe I think some people would say, no, 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 no. Service is not that. Service is about helping the customer. For doctors and or nurses, service is about treating or taking care of the sick. For teachers, service is teaching the students. But let me ask you that question. Is the purpose of treating the sick, helping the customers, or even teaching the students is actually to create value for someone else? Definitely yes, because that's what service is. Since we already talked about what service is, what kind of service do we aim to provide? Do we aim to provide an awful service? I don't think so, because even us, we don't want to experience an awful service, right? Or do we aim to provide an at least service? Like, at least napasa ko, at least natapos ko, at least nasagutan ko. Is that something that we aim? Or do we aim for an average service? Why don't we work on and continue to, or for us to aim or achieve aspired service? And then as we move along, we will be able to provide amazing service until we hit that awesome service. Why? It's because everyone deserves an awesome service. I want you to know that you deserve an awesome service. So I actually came up with a question that what are the things that stops us from providing an awesome service? So I'm going to talk three things about the barriers to awesome service. The first one would be blame. It's not me. I think it's you. Or the other way around. It's not you, it's me. That's blaming. Blaming other people or any parts of the organization. But this blame make things any better in your group or in your organization? No, it doesn't. Does it make things worse? Yes, it does. Because blame upsets people. Blame upsets people. Of course, if you are going to blame me for something that I didn't do, I would be really upset. And it will create tension and it's not productive. So let's get it out. Let's stop blaming others. Another one is shame. When we do something that we think we shouldn't do, we feel ashamed. And in service, it may sound better than blame, but it doesn't help you if you want to improve your service. So if you want to improve your service, to implement all the ideas that you have, and to do all the action steps that you are planning, you have to feel good about yourself. Again, you have to feel good about yourself. You have or you must have a strong sense of self esteem and self respect. So if you are going to reach out for people, help, or even uplift other people, it will be easier for you because you cannot give something that you do not have. How can you uplift other people if you can't even uplift yourself? So again, no more shame. Okay? No more shame and let's start to feel good about ourselves because we deserve it. Another one is excuses. It's really easy to make excuses. Like, I didn't know that because my professor didn't teach me that. I didn't know that because no one ever told me that. It's easy to make excuses, but it will never solve any problem. You may have reasons, like long reasons, or even short explanation or justification, But your excuses are not making a service improvement. So these three, the blame, shame, and excuses, won't help us in providing awesome customer service or awesome service. So what we have to do, let's eliminate these three and replace it with another three, which is take responsibility or take personal responsibility. No more shame, no more blame, no more excuses. Take personal responsibility. What does that mean? It simply means be accountable. Huh? Be accountable? Yes, be accountable. So taking personal responsibility means you do, you do something even if it's not your job. Because at the end of the day, you will benefit from it. You will learn from it. I bet. And also, you don't keep quiet because I know that it's not only one people or one person who know how the world works. I know, you know it too. So you don't keep quiet. You make suggestions, you make recommendations. Share your ideas. Don't keep quiet. And last one is that offer to help. I know for a fact that every time other people would offer you a help, it makes you feel good. So why don't you do it too? Again, aside from that, you will learn from it. And that's what it is. Okay? So that's pretty much everything. And before I finally end my session or before I finally end my talk, I would like to share to you a video. So let's watch this. Just give me a moment and let me share my screen. How are you guys so far? I hope that you are all doing well. Okay, let me just repeat that. Okay, and let's all watch this.
5 months ago, I was a student who was stuck in studies because of the pandemic. I was searching for a job to sustain my family financially. And I got rejected on most of the job interviews I encountered because I don't have any work experience and I don't have any idea on what the call center industry is. But one day, there's this company, which is Inspiro, who introduced me to Achieve Academy. And realizing it now, I am really thankful that I joined it because Achieve Academy really helped me a lot.
All right, there you go. So that's it for me for today. And again, if you are interested to be part of Achieve Academy and Inspiro, don't forget to visit the website jobs180.com/Inspiro.
Thank you, Miss Leia.
Thank
And
you,
well,
Robert.
time for our Q&A. So I have here a few questions to our audience. Please type in your questions to the comment box. I-raise ko siya sa kay Miss Leia and then sasagutin niya. And then we will move forward. Sige po. Miss Leia, you were mentioning, of course, about service, delivering the service. How do you communicate with each other and able to successfully deliver this service?
Robert. Sorry, your video froze on my end. But anyway, what I understand about your question is how do we provide service or how do we communicate, right? And
With
provide.
each other po. How
Sorry.
do you communicate as a team in order to deliver this service?
Oh, that's a very good question, Robert. Thank you. So, what we do is that we communicate through virtual platforms, especially now that we are in a work from home setup. So, we use some platforms. Am I allowed to mention those platforms or not? But that's how we actually communicate with one another.
Okay, so before, is this how you do it, or have you made this adjustment dahil nga sa what's happening right now?
Oh, yes, we actually made adjustments because before, Achieve Academy or we handle classes for Achieve Academy on site. And since we transformed and to this work from home setup, there are adjustments, but it's kind of good and it's doing good so far.
Okay, so to our viewers, when it comes to communicating with each other sa company, you should expect na kasama dyan ay ang paggawa ng adjustment tulad nitong sa Inspiro. Another question, Miss Leia. I have here a question from the audience. Are you accepting working students in Inspiro? This is from Miss Eliza Quintana.
Okay, hi Eliza. Good morning, and thank you so much for your question. And I think you are really interested to become part of Inspiro. Actually, to answer your question, it depends. And for me, or for us to know the best answer for that, you can visit Inspiro website or visit our Facebook page, which is Inspiro. Okay, thank you for that, Eliza.
Okay, so to Miss Eliza, you could again check their pages, Facebook page, and then I guess look into yung Jobs 180 page na rin nila to see since yung some of the positions may be available para sa inyo. And yeah, I have here another question. This one's from Mr. Brian Cervera. Good morning. How do you deal with rude people?
Hi, Brian. I actually saw your comment and I would really like to answer this. You know what? You don't actually need to deal with rude people because I want you to know that fire cannot be extinguished by fire. So if someone is rude, all you have to do is to be yourself. Are you rude? Of course not. I think you are nice. So if someone is rude to you, just be yourself. Be nice.
Okay, so naniniwala naman ako, Sir Brian, won't be rude, is not rude. Yes, I have here another question, and I think it's similar from Sir Prince Santos talking about service. Not all people have the same attitude when it comes to serving. Some are hot-headed. How do we deal with this? Thanks, just asking.
All right, thank you, Prince. And just answering, no kidding. So, Prince, about that, I know people have different attitudes, but you know, what you can actually control is yourself. And some of the people are not really mad at you, they are mad at the service that they are experiencing. It is because they don't know you, it's about what they experience. And all you have to do is to help them. And that's it. Again, be yourself. Be nice.
Actually, that's a good point. Sometimes, if you are dealing with, as you say, hot-headed people, they are not directed towards you. Nagkataon lang na ikaw yung kausap nila, I'm guessing. But it's not about you. It's
Yeah.
not a problem about you or what you're doing mostly. So keep that in mind. So, Miss Lay, I have here a question. This one is from John Paul Dave Sarte. What are the services available in Inspiro?
Oh, I would like to know more about the question. What do you mean services? About the services? Is it
Okay,
about the accounts?
sige. So, Sir John Paul, we will be waiting for your response. In the meantime, I will ask Miss Leia this question. This one is not asked particularly from the audience, but it's a common question asked with this topic sa previous webinars namin. How important is communication skills sa job even to those jobs na walang direct interaction with the customer.
Okay, so could you please give me an example wherein a job doesn't have any interaction?
Maybe yung sa IT, maybe that type of work.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much for that. So, communication is really important because it connects you to the other parts of organization or to the other people of organization. And without communication, I think there will be chaos. It is because every time someone will provide a task or will provide something, it needs to be communicated. It needs to be passed on. Now, if there will be no communication, I don't think so that there will be a result. Because in order for someone to do something, there must be that um, there must be that task to be given. So that's what communication, or that's the importance of communication.
Okay, so I guess that highlights it. Yung follow-up ni Sir John Paul, I think it's here somewhere, and we're just trying to post it right now. About jobs or accommodation, yung
Oh,
services available in Inspiro, yung tanong niya, he clarified that he was asking about jobs or accommodation.
okay. So what are the jobs that we are actually offering, right? So one of our main account or one of the main services that we provide is of course customer service. So like call center agents, that's what we do.
Okay, so that's one of the main. And I have here another question. So thank you, by the way, from the audience for once again being participative sa ating discussion. Keep on asking your questions. We have time for more. So this one is from Pelagio Edmar. Edward, good day po. Why interviewers test communication skills?
Okay, thank you for that, Edmar. In Inspiro, we test communication skills because our main objective when we hire people is for them to communicate to our customers. So we have to test or we have to gauge their communication skills for us to know if they are qualified. Now, if we found some lapses, that is where Achieve Academy is. We are more than willing to help you improve your communication skills. So again, if you are interested, don't forget to search us on Facebook, and you could just also visit jobs180.com/inspiro.
Okay, so I guess some jobs important communication skills, but everywhere it's still important. And it's good to know that some companies like Inspiro talagang tinututukan din ng kanilang employees to further develop. Okay, next question from Alpha Tolentino. Have you encountered difficulties in your work that cause to blame you for not doing it properly?
Okay, hi Alpha. Um, Actually, upon answering or upon reading your question, I can't think of any. But if this something happens, I want you to remember that again, be accountable. So do something even if it's not your job, because at the end of the day, you will learn from it and you will benefit from it. So if someone blamed you for not doing or for doing something that you really didn't do, it's fine. Okay? Because you cannot control that person. You can control yourself. So if you know to yourself that you didn't do it, that's fine. Let it go.
Okay, so once again, center tayo sa, well, I guess knowing yourself, you being able to control yourself. And wala tayong magagawa sa iba. Basta ikaw, alam mo ang iyong nagawa, kung bliname ka sa something about you, hindi mo na kasalanan. Next question from Rino Hermoso. Many people appreciate that they have a problem with communication skills but struggle to know where to start to improve. Can you give some advice or tips? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you know what? I can't give you some advice or tips. I can help you with that. So if you want to know more about that, Rena, again, you are more than welcome to become part of Achieve Academy of Inspiro.
Okay, so kapag naka-enter kayo sa Achieve Academy or something like that sa other companies as mentioned earlier, developing communication skills important and talagang naging invested sila to be able to provide this, I guess, trainings para sa inyo. Next question from Miss Jaslyn Pamintuan Arandela. Good morning po. In improving communication skills, is there a way we can measure or assess effective communication? Thank you.
Okay, for your own, it actually depends on how are you going to use it. But if you are going to apply in a company, I believe that every company has their own metrics, has their own metrics that they use to measure one's communication skills.
Okay,
So that's
so
how they measure it.
yes, so I guess may sarili-sarili rin companies. Although I guess may similarities din yan somehow in noticing communication skills kasi iba naman standard knowing how marunong ka mag-communicate. Next question from Dabs Quijano. Does Inspiro have local accounts? If it does, can you share it with us?
Okay, hi Debs, good morning. So yes, Inspiro has local accounts, and if I will going or if I'm going to share it right now, I don't think so that the time would be enough. So if you are really interested about local accounts of Inspiro, don't forget to visit jobs180.com/Inspiro.
Okay. So, hindi masagot ni Miss Leia dahil sobrang dami. I guess that's a good sign for you. Check mo na lang kung ano meron. Next question from Miss Leia Gavino Panganiban. Based on your experience as a trainer, have you had a trainee who seems to be a slow learner? If yes, how do you handle him or her?
Yes, and the best way to handle these kinds of training is to believe in them. Okay? So first thing you have to do is to believe in them and be patient because even you yourself, you didn't start being that so good. So you start actually like being that at least. And someone believed in you, that's why you are there. So it really takes patience, and also it's good for me to see that my trainees are succeeding because Inspiro actually, or one of our thing in Inspiro is that success inspires us. Every time we see that our people is succeeding, it really inspires us.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Leia. To our audience, we will be wrapping up the Q&A soon and mag-a-address na lang kami ng questions. If may na-skip, we apologize. We had to skip kasi I guess na-cover na rin somehow ni Ms. Leia. Very related dun sa previous question and I think based on her answers, na-cover din yung inyong concerns. So, thank you. Ask na lang din kayong questions for the next speaker. Moving on, question from Sir Patrick Enriquez. Good morning. What should we do if we mastered our communication skills but struggling during interview because of nervousness? Okay.
Okay, Patrick, you know what? Being nervous is normal. It's because we are people. Okay? Being nervous is normal. Now, the best thing for you or the best thing to do with that is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Because once you practice something, you'll be more comfortable doing it and it will lessen your nervousness. So it's not about actually studying, or more than, of course, studying is important, but I want you to remember that being nervous is normal. So you have to practice a lot for you to be more comfortable.
Okay. So, I guess sometimes when you consider na normal maging nervous kasi baby, mas lalo kang kinakabahan thinking, bakit nga ba ako very nervous right now? So, accepting that it's normal might help you and in able to control yung nervousness. Okay, so unfortunately, this is all the time we have, Miss Leia. Again, we apologize dun sa mga hindi namin na-address na questions, but because we believe that Miss Leia was able to tackle it, and of course, you're encouraged to ask similar questions to the next speaker. So, Miss Leia, thank you very much, and we hope to have you again soon in our future
Yes,
webinars,
I'm looking
maybe
forward to it.
speaker. Yes, so again, as said by Miss Leia, you could go to jobs180.com/inspiro to learn more about her company. And na-mention nga kanina dun sa nagtatanong about openings local accounts, nandun yung mga details as well as yung kanilang sa Facebook, I guess. Pwede nyo search yung accounts nila. But again, ulitin ko lang, that's jobs180.com/inspiro. Look at yung nagsuscroll sa baba. It's right there. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Leia.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so that was Miss Leia, improving communication skills. That's our first topic. We will be having two more topics. Before we move on to the next topic, our second topic, we would like to show this quick video to you. We have
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com and click Register now. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and is easy to recall by potential employers, and fill out the other information needed.
After you register, go to your email address and validate your jobs180.com account to activate.
Step 2. Complete your resume link. When creating your resume link, make sure to complete your personal and contact information, your profile picture, and your cover photo. You can also put your objectives, work options, work experience, certifications, achievements, skills and languages, references, and portfolio. Your resume link also features different themes and a cover photo. Step 3. Submit your resume link. If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link, or you can even share the job vacancy with your friends. You can also apply for jobs outside jobs180.com by sending your resume link through any platform. Register. Complete. Submit your resume link. So what are you waiting for? Turn your life around by creating your own resume link and applying for your dream job.
Okay, so that was jobs180.com's resume link. I hope by now familiar na ang audience with it, and maybe yung iba nga meron na. So hopefully, thank you naman para dun sa mga naka-prepare na. And if meron mang kailangan gumawa, said dun sa video, go to jobs180.com or schools.jobs180.com/RTU. So that is specific specific to your school. Makakakita kasi kayo ng announcements doon, easily linked doon sa partners nyo. But either doon or sa jobs180.com, you could register. So just a reminder, you are required to do this kasama to sa inyong requirements. So it's important for you to make your resume link. So if meron mga kailangan maisip mo, understand kung anong kailangan nila lagay sa kanilang resume link, please check our previous videos with you. Meron kaming mga talk on how to make one resume link na effective. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic. This will be the second out of three topics, and it's about developing a strong work ethic. Our speaker is this Jazz Garamay. This Jazz Garamay is currently working as a talent acquisition officer at VXI Munoz, while everyone else's goal is finishing a degree first, followed by getting a job, then finally building a family. Her story is far different. She first landed a job when she was 18. She has actually been working in the BPO industry for 13 years under talent acquisition sourcing. In 2018, while working, she gave birth to an adorable baby boy. In 2019, she decided to finish her college degree and thankfully graduated at Arellano University with the course of AV Psychology while working and being a mom to her son. In summing up her experience, she says that it was never easy, but I know that God's timing is always perfect. Let's all welcome Ms. Justine Garamay, Talent Acquisition Officer of VXI Global Holdings. Good morning, Ms. Jazz. Ms. Jazz, I think you are on mute.
I'm sorry. Hi, good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Ms. Jazz. So your topic is developing a strong work ethic, and based on your introduction, I think in order for you to be successful at magawa lahat ng nandun, important talaga ang developing strong work ethic. So we are glad na kayo ang magbibigay ng topic na to. So test na po natin ang ating screen share, and then we will move on after nyo na-share yung screen. To our audience, thank you very much for participating through the comment section dun sa ating previous na talk. I hope the same mangyayari dito sa talk ni Ms. Jazz. Since, well, marami rin akong naiisip na pwede niyong clarify or matanong about developing a strong work ethic since it's a good topic to have. Ms. Jazz, I could see your presentation right now, pero hindi pa siya naka-full screen. So once na full screen, we can move forward na po.
Okay na po, Robert.
Ay, hindi pa rin po. Is it naka-full screen na sa view nyo?
Yes.
I think we've encountered this before. Because sa aming view, we could see your presentation even if sa inyo naka-full screen na. Maybe you could try yung share screen, and instead of sharing it through a tab, share nyo yung entire screen nyo mismo. That has been successful before. So try nyo na lang po yun, because I think one of our speakers nagka-issue with that, and that was our work around it na mabilisan.
Can you see the entire screen now, Robert?
There you go. It's in full screen now. And make sure lang ma'am, walang magpa-pop up na messages sa inyo since naka full screen. I think nahiya ako one time kasi may nag-pop up while I was giving a presentation. So reminder lang ma'am, before you continue, naka full screen to. So anyway, your video is fine, audio is fine, could see your presentation full screen. So I will be heading backstage and be back here for the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Hi, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. So for today, I will be discussing to you how to develop strong work ethics. So as you've heard in my short introduction a while ago, year 2019, I have been a student. I have been an employee, and I just gave birth to my 1-year-old to my son. So it's not that easy because, as you know, you have to manage everything, your time, everything. So when they gave me this topic, I know that I can relate on this. So yeah, let me just share with you what I have prepared here. So here, According to Tyler Perry, developing a good work ethic is a key to success. Apply yourself at whatever you do, whether you're a janitor or taking your first summer job, because that work ethic will be reflected in everything you do in life. So this means that work ethic is really essential in whatever job um, you have. Okay, so whether you're a service crew, you're a janitor, you're a manager, or you're a director, you're an actor, you're an actress, work ethic is really important. So let's define first what is the definition of terms. So work means activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Now, ethics, it simply means science of morals. Now, what is a strong work ethic? The phrase strong work ethic is used for an employee who exhibits a set of values and belief in work as a moral good. So here are the factors that might affect, or here are the factors you have to consider in order for you to have a strong work ethic. So first is to practice punctuality. So when we say punctuality, it doesn't just focus on how early you go to work, but this also considers respecting the deadline. So for example, um, I am working in VXI, right? So when my boss gave me a deadline, I have to respect that and I have to follow that specific deadline that he gave me. Okay. So to further discuss the punctuality, you have to practice to develop the habit of being on time on or early for all appointments. So that includes meeting, that includes your shift schedule. You have to observe punctuality. Next is showing up late can indicate that you are not devoted to your job. So, for example, I'm gonna be your boss, and you are my subordinate. Of course, if you tend to show up often later than your shift schedule, I might think that you are not dedicated or you are not interested or devoted to your job. Because why? You're not coming early. That means you cannot get up early in the morning because there is no, like, you're not inspired to go to work. So I might think that way. So make sure that you practice punctuality. So this is number one. Next is the time management. Of course, if you can manage your time well, you become more productive, and you tend to accomplish more and organize easily. So this applies to, of course, you just don't focus on one task when you are working, right? So make sure that when you do multitasking, that's okay. You do multitasking, but make sure that you also manage your time well. Next is be professional and courteous. So when we say professional, the first thing that comes to our mind is you have when we say that you're a professional, it's like you are on the manager level, you're on the director level, executive level. It's not that. Professional talks about our values and attitudes also. So make sure that when you enter a company, because there are a lot of factors that affects that might affect the work ethics in a company. So that could be the culture, the generation. So make sure that you are professional and courteous, like you give respect to your colleagues and anyone in the company. That could be the housekeeping, that could be your bosses, everyone in the company. You have to make sure that you give respect to them. Next is focus and persistence. Well, focusing will allow you to finish tasks more efficiently while avoiding distractions. And building persistence will allow you to basically train yourself to work for longer periods of time while also working harder. So, of course, as a boss, for example, me as an employee, I don't want my boss to see me not focusing on the position, on the job that I have now. I don't want him to see me like always using my mobile phone, always playing Mobile Legends, always browsing through my social media account. I don't want him to see me that because that might give him a bad impression that I am not focused and I am not devoted the position or to the job that I have now. So make sure that you focus and yeah, and you are persistent. Next factor is initiative. So take the first step. When we say initiative, it's like you as an employee, you don't need your boss to tell you to give you instruction before you do this. So if you have this initiative, like if you show initiative, then you become more efficient to whatever you do. Okay, so yeah, initiative employees that show initiative and ask for more work without being prompted and very often are very often motivated and committed to their job. So that's one of the factors also that your boss might consider if you are really committed to your job, if you have this initiative. Next is integrity. This is my favorite. I always tell this to my handles before, actually up to now, because integrity means doing something right even if no one's looking at you. So I think this is more than being loyal or more than being faithful or dedicated. Integrity pays more for me. Yeah, because when you're at work, integrity means you have to do what you have to do, even if your supervisors are not around you. So that's what integrity means. Next is this was discussed a while ago by Miss Leia from Inspiro. So positive communication skills. This is also important. This also has important role in work ethics. So I have listed here some factors that might help you to also develop your communication skills, positive communication skills to be specific. So number one is avoid negative words. Number two, look at the positive aspects. Number three, suggest alternates and solutions. Number four is avoid force and coercion. Number five is sound helpful. I know that in of course when you enter a company, we have to understand that we have differences, right? And in order for you to not be misunderstood by your colleagues or your managers, you have to maintain positive communication skills, which is very important. It's not um, when we say communication skills, this also applies to listening, nonverbal communication through email, giving feedback. So we don't say communication skills, it's just about talking. No, that's not. So as you can see here, the essential communication skills for your career, these six factors may help you also. Okay, so yeah, listening, friendliness, open mindedness, feedback, confidence, and nonverbal communication. So for the open mindedness, it's not networking. Okay, so when I say open mindedness, it's like when someone approach you and gives you feedback. I think you have mistakenly done this. You have to be open minded. You have to accept that you had committed a mistake and yeah, be matured enough to accept your mistakes. Okay, do not take it negatively. And yeah, next is teamwork and cooperation. So understanding that you are part of a bigger team and that everyone has a role. Yeah, you have to be a team player. So a company would appreciate if you can work alone by yourself, but they would appreciate more if you can be a team player. So when we say team player, you can work as an individual and you can also work with the team. So it's very important because there they can see that you can cooperate well with your colleagues. And of course, as we know, we cannot do things alone. We always have to ask help from anyone. We also have to cooperate to make things perfectly and successfully. So teamwork is very important. And last on my slide would be determined to succeed. Internal motivation to succeed. Of course, you also have to show that you are really determined. This determined to succeed. I mean, if I am an employee and my boss will give me a project, I have to show that I am determined to finish this project successfully. So that's what determined to succeed means. And that's just very short. Unless you have questions or clarifications regarding my slide or topic.
Thank you, Miss Jess, for your presentation. Well, I'm expecting questions that will come from the audience soon. Tulad nung kanina, I will start things off and then I guess sunod-sunod na yan later on because that's usually our experience. You mentioned sa first few slides nyo is punctuality,
Yes.
even when punctual, hindi lang sa pagpasok sa work and I guess pati na rin sa pagpasa ng output.
Yes.
What can you do if you think there's a chance na hindi mo maaabot yung deadline even if you exerted all the effort talaga doing this output?
Okay. I think in my case, based on my own experience, it could be in school because I'm studying that time
Hmm.
while I'm also working. They can, if you will have to explain it, if you have to explain it, then they would understand that you're sincere that you cannot meet the deadline. It's better that you give a heads up earlier than to compromise on the things that you cannot really do or you cannot submit it on time. So yeah.
No, I guess mag-a-apply to if talagang yung reason mo is well legitimate reason siya
Well,
for
yes,
that.
but
And
make sure.
actually, the next question is also about punctuality, and I guess it's somewhat related about dun sa starting question ko. We will be flashing it sa screen. This one is from Micaela Nicolas. What if you're being late, as you said earlier, in punctuality because of internet connection issues? How will you explain that since work from home is very common nowadays?
Okay. Yeah, of course, it's very understandable here, mostly in our country, that specific on the internet connection, that you will be late. That's not a problem, but as part of the work ethic, you have to inform your boss that you are having an internet connection. Of course, if you're gonna explain it well, they would understand it. So make sure that you communicate well with your bosses or with your colleagues. So communication is really the key.
Yeah, so I guess kahit text mo sila, inform them somehow habang I guess inaayos nyo rather than wala kang ginagawa and then hinanap ka lang nila.
That's
Okay,
correct.
moving on. This question is from Hans Lin. Hi po, ask ko lang why employees quit their job? What are the usual reasons po for leaving a job?
Okay. Yeah, Hans, that's a very good question. No, actually, there are a lot of factors that might affect an employee to quit for the job they have right now. I cannot discuss it to you one by one because there are really lots. So there are personal factors, there are management factors, so there are really a lot. But one thing is for sure, we have differences. So that's why we have different reasons why we will decide to leave this company. Yeah. That could be personal or work related, which I cannot discuss one by one.
So I guess based din siya sa priorities na you have
Yeah.
set for yourself. Kasi yun nga sabi ni Miss Jazz, we have differences done. Next question, this one is from Charmaine Brusello. Hello po, just want to ask, how do you handle your work and personal matters at the same time?
Yeah, that's also one good question. Thank you, Charmaine. In my based on my own experience, time management is really important because um, while working and studying, you have to really manage your time and what being a mom also at the same time. So if you can manage your time well, then you won't have any problem. So that's also part of the work-life balance. If you heard of the work-life balance, so time management is important.
Okay, so well, when you're managing your time, kasama sa pag-manage yung work-life balance nga. So hindi lang
Yes,
siya all work. Kasi
it's not
i-manage nyo rin yung time na kasama yan. Okay, moving on from Renaiza Sarkina. Good morning, Ma'am Jess. Can you give us advice on how we can handle the pressure if there's a lot of deadlines?
Yeah, that's perfect. If in any case that of course we cannot avoid having a lot of tasks because that's what we have applied for, right? Um, One thing I can advise you is you have to do a checklist, and then you have to identify which you have to prioritize first. Okay, so for example, I have three projects with and the deadline would be tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is to I'll list down these tasks. Then I will identify which I have to submit first. Okay, which is the most important one. So that's what I do basically. If so, you won't be pressured because you cannot focus on what you are doing if you are pressured, right? So make sure that you do a checklist, then you identify.
Sometimes kasi when you could see it right in front of you, rather than iniisip mo lang baka kung
Correct.
anong dapat mo unahin. Yes.
Yes.
Miss Jazz, moving on, hindi ko na po hindi na magre-react dun sa answers niyo, hindi ko na siya further analyze because I want to give more time sa questions sa ating mga audience. Ayoko mabusan sila ng time. So after na answer niyo, diretso na po ako sa next question. So moving forward, John Paul Bakiran, again, what would are the factors that can cause to lose our focus in work?
Yeah, there actually nowadays there are a lot of factors affecting you getting out of focus on work. One good example is your mobile phone. We understand this is when integrity comes in. So if you're working at home, of course, there are a lot of factors that might affect you, that might distract you. Like you always browse your phone, you have to do the chores. So if that's the case, you have to make sure that your 9 hours working time is dedicated to your work. Okay, even if no one's looking at you, even if your boss is not around you, because of course you're working at home. So make sure that integrity comes in, even if you are working at home.
Okay, diretso sa next question. Dabs Quijano, good morning po. Teamwork is necessary in work ethics, and we all know that there are some instances that there's what we call toxic workmates. May I know how do you handle those kind of people?
Okay, that's a good question. Of course, when you are as I mentioned a while ago, we have differences, so you cannot avoid working with toxic workmates. But make sure that you are still keeping the positive vibes around your working place. So maybe you can communicate well with don't let that person affect you, because basically the company is paying you to do the job. So toxic workmates, that's just a factor, but don't let anyone affect the output or the work that you're doing.
Okay, next question from Pelaggio Edmar Edward. Good day po. I want to ask how you ever had to overcome a major challenge or obstacle at work. How did you handle it?
Okay. Um, those factors that I have listed, those are the characteristics or the factors that help me a lot to overcome the obstacles, the major challenges that I have du- during my employment before. So yeah, make sure that you also, because I cannot dictate to you what you have to do in order for you to overcome the challenges, because it will still depend on how you handle things on or how you handle pressure, because we are we are all different. So maybe I just have this strong personality. That's why but you can actually overcome it by managing everything. I mean, don't let pressure affect you. And yeah, everything follows.
Okay, moving on from Mark Blue, we have you completed a difficult task that you made your work harder than normal.
Yes, of course. Um, when you apply for a job, you have to expect that those that are indicated in the job description will not be limited to that. So you also have to embrace, or you also have to expect that they might expect more from you. So yeah, I have, yeah, completed the difficult task, but you just have to keep to be positive, to be optimistic that you can do it. Because you have colleagues to help you. You cannot just get things done alone. So you can also ask help. It's not wrong to ask help from anyone if you think that you are really having difficulties on the task that you have. So you can ask help.
Okay, from Miss Leia Alexis David. Good morning po. I experienced working in a fast food chain po. I also experienced na mawalan ng gana sa work because of the environment. What can you suggest to cope up with that kind of situation? Thank you.
That's a wonderful question, Leah. Um, for that, actually, there are a lot of factors that can affect you losing your interest on the job that you have right now. But I cannot dictate to you what you can do. But what I can tell you is if it's really draining your mental health, then don't think twice. You gotta leave your job because there are a lot of but you have to discover first if the problem is with you, with your environment, with the management. Because if it's just you, then your manager can maybe help you to, you can maybe discuss your concerns to your manager. But if the case is it's really draining your mental health, then you gotta leave your job. So that's what I've learned during my yeah, during my schooling, because health is really important.
Okay, so to our audience, we are about to wrap up. I could see that there are more questions actually sa comment section. So maybe I'll raise it na lang later on sa next topic. But anyway, from Sir Alfred, any advice paano mag-handle ng isang pasaway na katrabaho o kaklase sa isang team?
Okay. I've experienced this, of course, during our schooling and here when I am already working. But you have to stay calm and be professional, even if you are just a student. Being professional doesn't just apply when you are working. Um, if I am, if I'm having, if I will be encountering this kind of person, of course, I will talk to him or her directly and let him or her know, because maybe she's not aware of how she acts towards us. So maybe I can talk to her or him in a nice way, so that he might not misunderstood me.
Okay.
In a work setting, of course, there's this one-on-one or coaching we call. So you can do coaching with your subordinate or your colleague.
Okay, so this will be our last question for Miss Jazz. Sorry again dun sa mga questions sa comment section. Again, I will try to ask this next speakers. Anyway, from Mark Lister, talking about positive communication skills. How do you handle the person that has attitude issues?
Okay. Um, this is also similar to the previous question, but if I will be handling a person with attitude issues, probably I'll will do the coaching, of course, and I'll explain to him or her what because maybe he or she is not aware of it. So if my coaching would really help her to develop her attitude, Well, that's okay. Well, and if it's not going to be if it's not going to turn out okay, then in our work setting, of course, we have this NPE. If they encounter issues, we can actually issue a note, an NPE letter. So I hope it won't come to that point. So maybe coaching will work.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Jazz. That's all the time we have today for you. Dun sa mga gustong malaman more about her company, yung job openings, go to jobs180.com/VXI. Nandyan again sa ilalim ng screen nyo. Again, that's jobs180.com/VXI. Thank you very much, Miss Jazz. We hope that we can invite you sa aming future webinars even if, well, pwedeng itong topic ulit, of course, bagay sa inyo, or maybe other topics as well, we would be happy to have you here with us. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay, so that was our second topic. Thank you, Ms. Jazz, for being the speaker for that topic and answering all the questions. Before we move on, I would once again like to share a video for our audience.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
So this once again, that was jobs180.com's resume link. And I hope meron na sa ating audience na nakagawa na dun sa mga gagawa pa lang or gusto baguhin some of the parts of the resume link. You could check our previous videos. Meron kaming videos telling our audience how best to make their resume link. And pwede nyo siya sundan so that maging effective yung inyong resume link lalo sa catch ng attention ng ating mga HR. So let's now move on to our last topic. Our last topic would be, again, as mentioned earlier, it's more of a interview type. Hindi siya parang may topic na talk and then Q&A tulad nung what we did before. What I will do is that I have questions and I will be asking both of them to answer the questions. And then if you have questions dyan sa comment section nyo, baka masingit ko sa kanila and then we will move on from question to question. So it's about the new normal work environment. We have here Sir Jeff Moneda from Sykes and Sir Jai Rabin from ADP Philippines. So they will be our panel for today. So good morning, sirs.
Good morning,
Robert,
everyone.
good morning,
Okay,
Robert.
good morning. So both of your videos are clear naman. Your audio, I think, is clear. I heard you
Mhm.
say good morning and then malinaw naman. So we could move forward with our topic. So I will be asking both of you, I guess the same question na lang since we have time. Unlike yung kung maraming panel, iba lang ang makakasagot ng ibang question. So I think we could do both naman. So I guess yung first na question that would be okay is that the what are the major adjustments done by your company since March 2020? So since yung lockdown, ano ang major adjustments, main differences sa ating work environment? So maybe start with Sir Jai.
All right, thank you, Robert, and maayong buntag to everyone who's watching right now. Thank you, Jobs 180, for having us here. Always a pleasure to help out our upcoming individuals for nation building. So the answer to the question, very simple. We had to uproot everybody, like everybody knows, we had to uproot everyone from the office to our homes. And at the same time, because there are stricter regulations in terms of when we are coming back to work, we had to redesign our office spaces to fit the protocols. And I think it's something that other companies are also doing because again, there are stricter regulations, and at the same time, again, we had to move technology from the office to the houses, give everybody laptops for us to work, just to ensure that everybody will still produce what is expected of them to produce from the homes. We're 100% right now working from home.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Jai. So 100% from home pala ang ADP today. So let's ask Sir Jeff the same question. Major adjustments done by your company.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So again, for Sykes, the adjustment that we did just from a sourcing perspective, so basically connected to recruitment, is that from all of the channels that we are handling, from the referral programs, for example, for the external referral programs, for a face-to-face transaction in getting new members to refer for our company, it's now being done online. So meaning you don't have to go to our site to become a member and to refer for our company, but we can do it online already via Zoom, via the system that we have right now. So that's one. And we also fortified our channel like digital for Job Street and also Facebook. We have increased our share from 30%. We have increased it to half of the allocation. So meaning from 30 it increased to 50, 60% of the allocation because again it's virtual, it's more on digital. So that's another. So for everyone listening, so again, I know you guys transform or refocus your way of application by applying through digital portal, right? So because that's how it is, no, since March last year. So that's how things went. Um, and another would be for, of course, you remember the promo dicer that we have around our buildings, from a face-to-face transaction, waiting for applicants to come in and encourage them to apply to our sites. We transform this channel also to virtual processing. So meaning from them, getting applicants around the site. So they actually provided leads or applicants via direct endorsement via text, via email, and anything virtual. So in short, all of the channels that we have right now, from a sourcing perspective, transform into virtual processing. We actually process candidates via Zoom already. So we closed our hubs. So when I say hubs, the recruitment hubs from the five sites that we have in Luzon, we closed it during the pandemic, and then all has been processed via Zoom. And same as Jai from his end, so we also do work from home as well right now, up to this moment. So again, our setup is temporary work from home, by the way. So just to set the expectation right for those who are interested to apply within Insights. So it's temporary work from home until everything goes back to normal. So especially now that the vaccine is available, so it's just a matter of time, and but again, just to set the expectation right as well, since we have tested, because we are actually been tested by the situation we're in. Philippines that's not used to virtual setup. In US it's normal. The virtual processing, virtual work. But here in the Philippines, that's something new, that happened last year, and that forced even their telcos to improve their networks, all of that, right? So that being said, with the efficiency, with the convenience that this work from home gave our country, not only for Sykes but for any other companies, I think this will continue. But again, not 100% for our company, but this will definitely continue.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jeff. And well, coming from your answer, I guess I would like to ask Sir Jai as well about yung recruitment process nyo. I think our audience would like to hear yung how companies do your recruitment. So maybe you could share yung sa inyo din.
Yeah, very similar to what Mr. Jeff said earlier. We've transformed it and we've moved it really to a virtual platform, and I think everybody is already doing it. Why? Because it just makes sense that you do. Otherwise, you get a lot of people into jeopardy, and it's good. It's good for a lot of reasons. Mainly, if I were applying, it's way easier for me to do just that. It gives me more channels. But the question is, when it comes to getting interviewed, can you support it with the right kind of internet that it's stable enough that you don't get any issues? And at the same time, again, it's already it's for me. I think it's become easier for people to apply or get the word out, but at the same time also it's the challenge is up to the person applying if they actually can support that kind of environment, the requirement of the environment, especially with you have to have internet and so on and so forth. So it's practically the same platforms, although Jeff and I are perhaps using different platforms in the interfaces, but the ability to use channels, the ability to use mobile phones in recruiting, it's yeah, I think everyone is it's smart for us to use to go that path.
Okay, so to our audience, I think this is something that you could expect from the
Mhm.
companies for now, since as you can see, pareha sila, it's what they're doing. I have here a question from the audience. I would be asking this to both our members of the panel. Let's see if we could flash it across the screen. It's from Mark Lister Falcutila Fama. To our audience, I apologize if I mispronounce some of your names. So we have a question. Well, before, since it's not flashed to screen, I'll just read it out loud. So question, since pandemic started, what are the difficulties, especially to your work, have you experienced already? And how do you overcome such difficulties? Okay, so let's go to Sir Jeff.
Yeah, from our end, one of the challenges that we have faced when we started doing virtual processing since March last year is that since I'm part of recruitment sourcing, the challenge in terms of having a candidate sign the contract. From we used to do it like face to face in our offices, giving out, handing over the physical paper, and then having the hired candidate sign the job offer. Is how we do it. You have a pen, you have a paper, and then you sign it, right. During pandemic, we started by sending emails and then having the candidate sign. The issue there is that you're actually not seeing who's signing the job offer, who is if the person signing is really the person that will be hired, things like that. So that's why we have created this e-signature, technology that we have right now, from sending contracts via email, or we have used that. So we started with DocuSign, by the way, and then after that, we have transformed it to e-signature. So e-signature is an electronic contract that candidates can sign from. And then another would be, the challenge is that the examinations, from doing it on site, you have to, same issue with the job offer, wherein you don't really know if the person that's taking the exam is the same person that's that really applied to you. So that's why we have created how we overcome it. We overcame it. So we have we have done a proctored exam wherein you have to turn on the camera via Zoom, and then for us to be sure that it's you taking the exam. So that's for psychs. The two
So
major issues that we faced.
Thank you, sir. Just to our viewers, I'd like to share very common yung sa assessment that you would take tests nga on site. It was just, I think, mentioned earlier ng one of our speakers. But of course, based on the difficulties, we had to change virtually. And I guess challenges nga kasama dun ay identifying na tama nga ba yung tao sumasagot ng mga assessment natin. So, Sir Jai, same question po. Please answer yung question ni Sir Mark Lister.
Alrighty. So Mark, for us, the one of the biggest things is the ability to produce work that's of the same quality or if not better. And I say that because you know how it's like when you're at home. Nobody gets to see you. And if nobody gets to see you, you can do anything you like. But at the end of the day, we had to change our mindset from an attendance based now, oh, I can see you there, I can see you sitting down, into more of an output based, meaning I might not be able to see you right now, but I'll check a little bit later on if your output is okay or if we the expectations that we have for you is there. You're doing it right. So I remember the conversation earlier that Jazz mentioned. It's a lot has something to do with integrity at this time around because it's not about you being there anymore. It's about the output that you produce. But at the end of the day, if you don't get to do your work, if wala kang mapapakita sa mga boss mo, eh anong ginawa mo? How do you rationalize you being there, you getting paid for it? Okay. The second one is we also had a difficulty in terms of teaching or getting people up to speed. Why? Filipinos, we love face-to-face interaction. We love talking in class, the banter. But unlike what Jeff said earlier in the States, it's so normal. Work from home is very normal to people. But here, we had to make a huge adjustment of learning how to do the Zoom, these interfaces, and we had to learn so many different kinds of technology, how to annotate and so on. But was it difficult? Yes, it was. But were we able to cope with it? I think so, because with the constant improvements and the connecting pieces, it made it a whole lot easier. The last difficulty that we had is human beings as we are, people are social creatures. We enjoy Filipinos enjoy connecting, enjoy talking. So we had a problem with engagement. So we had to be very creative with thinking of ways to still get people connected, still feel that they're still connected to each other or to the organization. And I would imagine in school, for the younger ones now, it's easier for you to connect because you're used to, FaceTime and so on. It's easy. So we had to create different opportunities for us to still be able to connect with each other. And now, hopefully, we are riding the wave. I'm not saying we've perfected it, but I think we're getting better at it.
Yes, so I guess companies are making sure nga that there is still interaction between
Yeah,
yung workers, especially siguro kapag new hires. I think that's another challenge for the companies. Paano kayo ma-incorporate dun sa team kapag virtually ka lang nila nakikilala? I could see
correct.
that being an issue. So, well, moving on, I have here another question from the audience. So, from John Louis Tesorero, how does working at home affect performance of an employee? So, Sir Jeff?
Well, I will not speak about the performance on the floor, the call center industry itself, because I have minimal visibility on that because I'm part of recruitment. But speaking about the work that we do in sourcing and also recruitment, how does it affect? Well, it actually made it more convenient for us to do to do the work. This is actually, I might say, one of the perks that we have right now, as compared to going to the site, paying for the gas and toll gate that you have, and then spending for all of those. You can save money for because of that, and still delivering the same result to your company. Again, to Jai's point, It's a matter of you delivering the same result or more than the expectation. Because you are working from home, you don't have to to go outside your home and then go to the office, spend time in traffic in the Philippines. Um, with all of those, you can actually spend the travel time in sleeping. You can rest more, and that's actually, for me, it's a perks. It's a perk that you we can actually enjoy, all of us, right now. But again, it's just a matter of delivering the same result, even if you're at home. Me handling in my possession, I'm handling people, like part of my job is really to ensure that my team is delivering the same result or more than the expectation, um, with the premise of working from home. In other departments that we have right now, so some of the departments like HR, benefits, and other departments, a percentage of their department or team is actually reporting to work, because that's their job. Actually, facilities, because they actually man the site, right? So in my group, we're 100% work from home right now, but under a condition that you will be performing and delivering the expectation of the company, and that's what we're doing right now. And then the way to do it is you have to meet with them more frequent, as usual, when you are doing it in the office, because you have to make yourself be felt by your team, that hey, our boss is checking, our head is checking the every bit of work that we do, to make sure that they are delivering, via Zoom, via call, via we have to make your presence felt.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Jeff. To Sir Jai, as mentioned by Sir Jeff, I guess to this question, I guess you touched on the subject already, but do you have anything that you would want to add as an answer to Sir John Louis?
Yeah, I mean, in general, if you think about it, moving or changing scenarios entails it just entails the idea of change. And with change will come adjustment. Did we adjust? We adjusted. Did we have a dip in performance when we started out? Yes, we did. I'm gonna be frank with you. Yes, we did. But did we cope with it as Filipinos? Totally. We were able to pull it off. Why? It's either you don't move or you do something to make the situation work. And in any given situation in school, na mag-ibang teacher nyo, mag-iiba kang school, you have to adjust. Grades may go lower, but in the end, you have to find a way to create a system that will work for you. And in the end, integrate. And the key word that I'd like to point out here is, at this time around, when you're working for us, when we're working from home, it's not work-life balance anymore. It's work-life integration. And when I say
Mm,
work-life integration, paano mo imi-mix yan? Andyan yung pamilya mo, nagluluto, naglalaro, and you working in this side. How do you manage that? You have to set proper expectations. So from our end, what we had to do also was to reinforce that idea to our members of the team. And we say, you have to talk to people. You have to set expectations right now. Hoy, when I'm in class, I have to do this, ha? Or I have a meeting. Oh, mamaya na, sa taas na lang kayo muna maglaro, or something to that effect. I mean, the your ability to adapt to the situation is critical, and I think that's one thing that made us successful is uh, we are able to address whatever it is that's the hindrance that we have, and roll with the punches as we continue.
okay. Thank you, Sir Jai. It's a good point. By the way, inform na rin kita that I will be using your term, work-life integration, sa future talks ko. Huwag kayong magugulat if gagamitin ko na siya as if parati ko siyang sinasabi all the time.
Go ahead,
Because
go
I
ahead.
understand, I understand that mahirap sabihin yung balance. Like, if you're staying kung saan ka, usually nagre-relax, saan ka nagwo-work, parang ang hirap nga i-separate. So, I see the point na man ni Sir Jai. I have here a question from the audience again. This one's from Sir Mark Raimundo. And here it is. We will flash it across the screen. Good morning. Is there a performance difference working from home and working in the workplace? Which is better? Sir Jeff?
Yeah, for me, well, obviously, that's actually part of my answer earlier. No, so for me, which is better? For me, work at home is better for me. Because I can do more. I can actually focus more and deliver more. So because that's actually one of the things that I've been, uh, you know, looking forward when I was prior pandemic, you know. So how can we do work from home? Because 5 days a week you have to go to the office and report to work and deliver it, right? So one of the dreams that came true is this work from home right now, which is a blessing in disguise during pandemic last year. So again, which is better for me. For me, working from home is better. You know, for those who like it. No, but ironic because there are some employees that preferred working in the office. When we are doing it already. So I was surprised that hey sir, mas gusto ko po mag-work sa office ganyan ganyan for valid reasons. Like for example, I don't have a place to work. Yeah, to Jai's point kanina, maingay yung kapatid ko, may daan sa likod ko kapag naka-zoom ako, things like those. Syempre, uh, you know, for them, they prefer to, a more conducive workplace, which is in the office.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jeff. So, for Sir Jeff, I guess since transitioning, exploring na rin naman yung idea. So, I guess that factored in dun sa changes and I guess more prepared somewhat. Sige, Sir Jai, same question asked by Sir Mark Raimundo. Maybe you could answer.
I will play the lines with Jeff earlier. To each his own. To each his own, really. At the end of the day, whichever allows you to become more fulfilled in your what you're doing, then good. Now, if you ask me personally, very similar to Jeff, I enjoyed working at home. My goodness, I saved so much time from the traffic of traveling, and I use that travel time of mine to do something else, either to sleep, to exercise, to read something. I save more time, but we've experienced that we've also had we had associates now who are very extroverts. They feel so
Hmm.
cl- uh, cloistered up in the house that they feel so alone. That's why they want Zoom. They need to connect with people. They have to go outside. So they, as a leader, I think it is your responsibility to get to know these people, to create avenues for them to connect, because the performance doesn't necessarily come automatically if it's work from home is better than from the office. Depends on the people that you have. Depends on the build that you work with in your respective teams.
So yes, I agree, Sir Jai, that yun nga, merong iba prefer. And I know of some people talagang gusto nila sa labas, ayaw nila even Zoom, hindi sila happy na Zoom lang. For some reason,
Mm,
kaharap talaga yung yung na-appreciate nila kahit na naka-mask, naka-shield, may social distancing. Mas gusto pa rin nila over Zoom.
that's true.
Okay, so moving on, we have a question here from Alfred. Nulian, paano po na-improve ng company ang work from home setup, Sir Jeff?
Yeah, just to set an example, what happened last year was that before, for our applicants, one of the things that we have required is, of course, you have to have a computer for you to do your job. One of the things that we did in order to improve the delivery is that why not, this is March, ha? So later on kasi halos lahat ginawa na yan, right? We gave provision in terms of the computer setup, desktop. That's how we solution for it in order to improve the delivery of the expectation of our hires for Sykes. Not only computers, but we also provided internet modems for those that really need it for us to have a uniform performance, uniform delivery of the expectations. Instead of them having like ako po naka Wi-Fi stick, yung isa naman ginagamit yung internet sa bahay, right? Some of them naka mobile data, right? So doon pa lang hindi na pare-pareho yung delivery mo. Paano kung ma-disconnect, right? So that's why we came up with the solution of providing desktop and also internet for our hires.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Jeff. Well, to our audience, baka nga merong concern about yung gamit nilang internet, laptop, whatever. Meron mga companies that they provide these, yun nga, for uniformity, and I guess para yung output well, somewhat same din yung expectations, hindi yung mas expect ko na mas marami tong gagawin, mas maayos internet nito, mas marami kong work bibigay dyan. That's not the case. Sige po. Sir
Exactly.
Jai?
Again, nothing out of the ordinary in terms of support, in terms of technology. It's just but right. What we did was just give the provision. Provision. If we started out with the local internet routers, and then eventually, because some people prefer converge over to globe or to smart, ginawa na siyang budget. O sige, okay, ito na yung budget. Kayo na ha, kasama na yan sa mga sweldo ninyo. O, kayo na mamili ng internet ninyo. Okay, I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, it's at that point already. Um, and aside from the technology, the other piece that we had to really maximize, and I think anyone else as organizations can also maximize, is social media. My goodness, social media can help connect people. So what we
Mhm.
did, we created a social media platform to get people together to start talking about concerns. Ay, paano ba tong internet dito, ganun to. So we created a social community. And I think it really helped us to become more sane. And we didn't feel so alone that people are so alone in a particular struggle. So we call that community on Facebook work from homies. Oh, di ba? So, I mean, it's just a community where people talk about problems, we talk about issues. Guys, sweldo na ba? You know, things like that to get people into the same pace, have a connectedness. So I think using technology, uh, the companies have, and that's free for all to use, is an ability that allows us to really connect and makes working easier as for us as working class heroes for the Philippines. Also,
Okay. Thank you, Sir Jai. We have a few more questions. I see two questions sa comment section. I apologize, Sir Jeff, Sir Jai. Hindi na ako makaka-react sa sagot nyo dahil gusto ko ma-address lahat ng questions to our audience. Di ko na rin siguro ma-analyze or sabihin yung point of view ko dun sa question as sa answer nila. So, dire-diretso na tayo. So, Sir Jeff, question from Justin Neri de Los Santos. Good morning, Sir Jai and Sir Jeff. Even though some of your employees are on a work from home setup until now because of the pandemic, does your company still have a skeletal workforce, especially in some operations that should be done within the office, Sir Jeff?
To answer the question, yes, we still have skeletal operations in the office.
Okay, so Sir Jai,
for us,
skeletal
for
workforce.
yes, for operations per se, the ones handling our clients, uh, we don't we don't have very minimal. To Jeff's point earlier, facilities, people who issue the laptops, the welcome kits, that. But largely, we're talking about people not in the office, but there are secret teams that we have, security teams that we have that are in the office, of course, because they're the ones manning the global operations, and we can't tell you about it.
Sige, sir. I won't pry. So, sabi ko nga, hindi na ako masyado magtatanong. So, let's move on to our next question. Miss Mecca Benaventura, good morning po. Is the working hours and work from home setup still the same with the working hours in the office? Or the working hours become longer due to some issues such as internet connection problems? Okay. Sir Jai, stay na tayo with you.
Okay,
Answer.
sure. This is a funny question, and I like this. I like this. So, in terms of working hours for our operations, it's the same because uh, banking hours are banking hours, 9 o'clock to 6. It's the same. It still for the support folks. It varies a little bit because there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of recruiting people. It varies now. You can recruit early, late at night only because they're just at home. It doesn't really matter. They don't need to travel. They just need to be online. In terms of, is working from home, or does working from home become the time becomes longer? My goodness, if you ask me, sometimes when I start to sit down, I can't stop anymore. That's the problem. And I think somebody already said, you have to learn how to stop, stand up, because the problem is, if you cannot stand up, it takes a toll onto your body. So in terms of internet connection, it happens sometimes, especially when we started out, that uh, work doesn't necessarily become longer for us because you pay overtime if you go beyond the working hours, right? So it doesn't necessarily, but if there are deadlines that you have to meet, we had to extend a few times because, again, of the internet connectivity issues, but it's not every day, and fingers crossed it's getting better in terms of our internet capabilities here in the country.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jai. Sir Jeff?
Yeah, it's the same. Again, same answer as Jai. It's the same working hours, the same number of 8 hours a day. That's it. Because again, if you will extend do more than 8 hours, it's overtime already, right? So it's the same setup, the same premise, the same rules that we have working from home. But again, from my depart in my department, from the work that I do, again, having the perk of doing my job at home, of course, kumbaga in Tagalog word, pakonsuelo na lang, no? So because you're doing your job at work. So if you started, if I started like right now, 10 a.m. And I have a meeting at 11, 1 a.m. Later. So pakonsuelo na lang, sige, gawin na natin because nasa bahay ka naman eh, right? So and also same as Jai, when you started doing your job kasi especially when you're from home, comfort zone, minsan di mo namamalayan, sobrang okay. Sobrang haba na pala ng ginagawa mo yung work mo. So there, you know, it's the same
Okay,
basically.
thank you, Sir Jeff. So, next question will be our last question. Wrap up na po tayo. Christian Herrera is asking, good morning, what if and hopefully everything will be fine? Do you still allow some of your employees to work from home?
So from our end, based off of the secret plan that we have, yeah, we've acknowledged, because if there's one thing that we've proven this time, is that we can work from home. Right, that's one thing that we've proven right now, that the production capability is the same. So it's now becoming an option for us to be able to work from home. But is it an expectation to come? What is the total rule that's going to happen in a few months in terms of balik na ba talaga lahat? We haven't set our heads straight down na balik na lahat, wala nang work from home. Why? Because again, it's working. People get the jobs
Mm,
done even at home. So we're trying to weigh things around, but it's a 50-50, I would say. Working, and we're still wrapping our heads around what's the best rule. But it's a fact remains, it's an option already. It's not a no, a hard no, that you can no longer work from home.
okay, so thank you, Sir Jai. Sir Jeff?
Yeah, it's same. Again, it's working for everyone, for all of the companies, I guess. Especially to those that love working from home, you have to do your job right, and to deliver the expectations. So again, it's working. So I think it will continue. Again, the setup that we have right now is temporary work from home for Sykes. But again, with the way things are going, I think this will continue. And for other companies that I know of, they are doing it like performance based for those who really love working from home, so you have to perform. So from the ranking, because they cannot do like 100%, so a percentage of that, maybe 50%, again based on performance, you can be someone chosen for that work from home. If you love working from home, you have to perform. And for those that below the expectation, you have to go on site and be monitored by your so that's the way things are going.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jeff. So let's wrap up this part, this portion. I would give each of you, Sir Jeff, Sir Jai, the floor. You could say anything you want. You could give an inspirational message. You say something more about your company. It's up to you. You have the floor. Say anything. So, Sir Jeff, sa inyo na po tayo.
Okay, for me, it's just a tip for those we have graduating and also alumnus from this call, right? And also those are who are working
Yes,
already. I mean, the
most
audience, yeah.
likely.
Yep.
Possible, possible.
Okay, just advice for everyone in this call. So from a recruitment, a sourcing perspective, you just have to be yourself during the interview. You have to practice and practice. Most of the candidates fail because of I think communication skills, because they don't have that confidence during that moment in terms of the time of we are processing them in recruiting, right? So for me, you have to practice it until it became like a normal, thing for you. You stand in front of a mirror, talk to yourself in English, read English magazines, newspapers, for you to get used to speaking in English. And for me, that's it. So that's actually my tip for you to get that confidence in yourself. And because of course in school medyo ano yan, paglalabas ka medyo hindi mo talaga normal pagsalita ng English right. So just a tip for you to land a job, you have to practice it as a normal at home. Talk to your parents, talk to your brother, sister in English, So magtataka bakit ba't nag-iba yata yung ano mo. So just Siyempre may nagbago rito. So, just just be yourself in speaking in English, So that's it. And another thing for me, for those who are interested, looking for a job, exploring, and you wanted to join Sykes, you just have to submit your resume at jobs180/Sykes, right?
Uh, Hello, Sir Jeff. Mukhang nag-hang si Sir Jeff. While waiting for him, Sir Jai, merong pahabol. Sorry, sabi ko last question, pero I think may chance kasi na when I announced na last question, baka nagta-type pa siya. Because it's a good question and it covers a lot. So, tanong ko na rin to sa inyo. From Reno Hermosa, hi sir, good morning. How can you meet employees' growing mental and emotional health needs? We know many have suffered profound losses during the pandemic, like anxiety, depression, and some survivors and their families will have post-traumatic stress syndrome. How can you support employees' emotional health?
So I'm just gonna answer that straight up. So we created a committee to handle that, and the committee handles wellness, emotional states, and we ensure that we create avenues for our associates, helplines. When I say helplines, we give them numbers to call so that they can connect with professionals. We give them lunch and learn sessions talking about mental health effects. We support leaders by allowing them to understand how to support individuals with mental health, and we give them collaterals every month. And this is something that ADP is being very strong with. And we've acknowledged that mental health issues have already started to rapidly increase these days. And we globally, as an organization, we've wanted to address that. And we've so far been addressing it with the resources that we have, both locally and internationally, to support our associates. So it's a matter of support that we give them, letting them know that we are there, and with the programs that we have to ensure that they feel that they are not alone in this journey towards development also. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you, Sir Jai. So to our viewers, you can see that companies recognize na is something that it's important to deal with. So tulad nga sa ADP, they made these efforts as mentioned by Sir Jai. Sige po, Sir Jai, diretso na po tayo dun sa final na message nyo for our viewers.
Alrighty. For everybody watching, largely I would imagine that most of you are the younger ones. So ADP is a human resource capital organization. We're an HEM organization. So what's that, sir? Don't worry. See, that's the thing. It's okay. We're gonna teach you. If you feel like you're not unsure what you're getting yourselves into, what human resources is, we hire fresh graduates. We like hiring fresh graduates because you have a fresh mindset to things, and we don't want you to worry about the training. You're familiar with school? We're going to give you that kind of training. The only key ask that I would like to have for people, and I want to repeat what Jeff mentioned earlier, very salient points, very important points. The thing that I'd like to highlight is don't be scared to ask questions when you're already in. Okay. If you don't understand it, especially now that it's virtual, raise your hand and say, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure if I get it correctly. Okay. Because if you keep on just saying yes, 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 and go on with your training, eventually it will get to you. It will explode on your face. Be very candid. And since right now, as I mentioned earlier, and Robert said he's going to pick up what I said, it's work life integration. It's very hard. It's a little harder this time to manage. So influence what you have. Kung makikiusap ka sa mga tao, kung kaya mo makikiusap, well and good. If you can't, you have to be creative. You have to learn how to be creative, because I know how the struggle is, even though when you're in class and then you're speaking, you have sessions. When you're in training also, and when you're doing production work, there are also sets of expectations that you have to do. So influence what you can. Make sure that you'll be able to adjust accordingly to the changes or the expectations. Be creative. Be Don't let the creativity die to make your workspace a little brighter, a little feel more positive. Okay, and then just learn from the whole situation as you move forward. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at jobs180.com/ADP. You can apply there. And we'd be glad to help you out and connect with you if you have questions. Thank you, Jobs.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Sir Jai. I'm not sure if you can see the comments, pero I think the audience, they appreciate naman your answers yun ni Sir Jeff. They've been saying thank you after yung mga responses niyo. So, again, to our viewers, check jobs180.com/ADP for Sir Jai's company, jobs180.com/Spikes para kay Sir Jeff. And unfortunately, this ends our portion for today. So thank you very much, Sir Jai, Sir Jeff. I'm not sure if you could hear me, but we hope to be able to invite you soon time in future webinars, whether it's another panel interview like this, or maybe you could cover some of our topics. So thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for us today. Thank you once again. As usual, you are very active sa comment section and we appreciate that very much. So, well, thank you for staying sa mga iba. Thank you since yung first session natin, first time ko nag-host for RTU. Until now, we've been consistent in being active as an audience. So thank you very much. And well, once again, we want to recognize yung efforts ng inyong school officials. This would not have been possible if it were not for them, for what they've been doing to make sure that this event will run successfully. With that, to formally close our event, I would like to share to you a message from one of your school officials, specifically from Engineer Armando Matias, Director of the Cooperative Education Center.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Rizal Technological University Cooperative Education Center, it is indeed my pleasure to express gratitude to all those who made this webinar a reality. To all our industry partners, thank you for giving us part of your time to inspire us. You inspired us. Most especially our students, with sharing of your expertise, knowledge, and best practices of your respective companies that will surely inspire them to develop themselves. To our major sponsor, jobs180.com, it is with great humility that I thank all of you for your great help in organizing this webinar. To Shari, Robert, the rest of the team, and most especially the Managing Director, Mr. Kim Chua, thank you. Your creativity and inputs were invaluable in making this event a reality despite the pandemic. To all our COE coordinators, I would like to commend you for your utmost dedication and support in preparing our students for their future employment. Lastly, to our Almighty God, who always showers us with blessings, as we can all see in this event. It is my sincere duty to thank and congratulate all of you for completing the 3 sessions of this webinar series, and I hope that you all have learned a thing or two. In ending, I would like to leave you with this quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Keep learning. Continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field. With that, Thank you very much and see you to our next webinars.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, that was Engineer Armando Matias, Director for Cooperative Education Center. So, thank you very much to our viewers. Final announcements na po. Don't forget to make your required resume link. Yes, make it soon. Go to jobs180.com or better yet, go to schools.jobs180.com/RTU. So that's it. That's it for us today. And we hope that you were able to learn something for today. And I'm checking the comments. I appreciate those na nagte-thank you to us. It's, well, we note it and appreciate it. So that's it. Once again, I am Robert from jobs180.com. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe. Goodbye.